As a dedicated research guide, she has successfully supervised several PhD and MPhil scholars in the fields of commerce and management. Dr. Deshpande has completed important research projects related to entrepreneurship and women empowerment. She has also published 43 research papers, authored 7 books, and edited 7 academic volumes, making significant contribution to entrepreneurship, education, and research. She has actively organized and led various national and international academic events and several uh, and has several prestigious academic positions, including NAC peer team member, Board of Studies member, advisory board members, and external PhD examiner. Her areas of expertise include marketing management, women entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship of development, and disaster management. She is also actively associated with various social and cultural organizations and continues to contribute to education and community development. This concludes the introduction of our respected resource person. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you, sir.
Yes, welcome, ma'am. In UGC MMTTC, Dr. Bhavsambal Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. So, I request to ma'am, please unmute themselves. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Okay. I have not started yet. I will share my PPT.
Yes, yes, okay. Yes, ma'am, you are visible. You are PPT visible.
Is it visible? Visible. My PPT is visible.
It is visible, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Namaskar. शरीरं चैव वाचं च बुद्धीन्द्रियमनांसि च नियम्य प्राञ्जलित्तिष्ठेत् वीक्षमाणो गुरुर्मुखम्. That is, keeping the body, speech, intellect, senses, and mind under control, one should look towards the Guru with folded hands. Namaskar to the Guru Tattva among the teaching fraternity. A warm welcome to all the respectable teachers. Nice to connect with you online for this refresher course on sustainable development and climate responsibility in higher education, organized by UGC MMTTC Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Well, in today's session, we'll be together for 2 sessions dealing with sustainable development and climate responsibility and role of higher education in dealing with both these issues together. Now, in this journey, the outcome which I expect out of these deliberations, that is firstly clarity. That is,
Hello.
I wish to develop a fundamental understanding of
Hello, ma'am.
the term sustainable development, the SDGs, that is Sustainable Development Goals, the science of climate change, I mean, in just uh, basic understanding of all these concepts together, which is required for the sake of interacting with the students as well as the other stakeholders. I would appreciate in case you can keep your videos open because that would be giving me an indication regarding to what extent we are together and what is your expectation from me. So I would be in a better position to cater to your expectations thereby. Because talking with these black triangles, that is, I mean, rectangles, that is not a good proposition. When some lively faces are in front of me, then there is a added motivation to carry on the deliberations and have a good interaction with all the respectable faculty members. Well, as I said, regarding session, I have planned several outputs of the session. First is in the form of clarity of some of the concepts. uh, all the faculty members, they represent different disciplines of knowledge. So accordingly, in one manner or the other, we try to interpret the concepts like sustainable development, climate change, global warming, and all the consequent kind of terms likewise. Anyhow, let's try to create a common basic understanding regarding the conceptions. And with that, we'll be just having a clear view of the context in which today we are required to think and we are required to make an action plan. I wish to give you a clear view regarding why higher education institutions and why faculties dealing with higher education being asked to lead. They're required only to teach. They're required to lead with reference the term climate responsibility. Then again, this session attempts to develop some kind of capability with reference to embedding sustainability into curriculum, into research, into campus operations, as well as community outreach initiatives. And then we'll, we'll be making several efforts so as to understand the compliance of various kinds of quality standards, accreditation, certifications at our at national level as well as with reference to global benchmarks with reference to the climate responsibility of the higher education institutes as well as the faculty members. Because basically, in absence of familiarity with NEP 2020, NAC, UGC, NIRF, then again IASH, uh, in absence of their expectations, in absence of their directives, in absence of their guidelines, uh, we may not be having a complete clarity regarding what kind of transformation that is expected from us. We are expected to teach, but to lead with reference to all these initiatives together. So let us begin with the concept of sustainable development. Normally, whenever we try to make efforts for the sake of for the sake of developing a new conception. So thereby, what kind of efforts we make is understand several different definitions together. So from perspective of different experts and professionals, we can get a overview regarding what exactly the concept is all about. Because all the conception, they are having different connotation, they are having different perspectives. But the definition given in the Brundtland report 1987, that is so beautiful, that is so simple, that I have avoided all other definitions sharing with you and will be focusing only on this simple sentence, which very aptly talks about the concept of sustainable development. Sustainable development, this report says, Brundtland report says, it is the development that meets needs of the present without compromising ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It's so simple. It is expressed with such a clarity that each and every term of the definition highlights different facets of the concept of sustainable development. Now, from this simple sentence, we can derive uh, different kinds of understanding, like uh, this is deliberately, it is intergenerational. Generally, we academicians, uh, we plan in terms of semester, in terms of academic years. We term, yes, want to say something? As far as research, please mute your audio. Thank you. With reference to our research objectives, we generally plan in terms of 3-year cycles. We are not habituated to think in terms of decades, but this concept of sustainability, it asks us to plan in decades. Then another understanding which is clear from this definition is generally we perceive sustainability only in terms of green circle. I mean, in terms of recycling, reuse, solar panels, plantation drives. But this is a narrow view. This is a mistaken kind of interpretation regarding the definition. Real sustainable development asks whether a decision also protects livelihood and fairness, not only the environment. So this makes us realize that economy, environment, and social equity, all these three aspects, they are very closely linked and related with each other. Friends, dealing with the sustainable development and climate responsibility, again, I started thinking regarding this session, what kind of point should I share with you? Then I remember our founder, Vice Chancellor, Honorable Dr. J.M. Wagmare. He used to say there are 4 different dimensions of university education: teaching, research, interaction with industry, and extension. Extension is community outreach kind of activities. We concerned with only syllabus, only with the examination, and only declaration of the results. In addition to that, continuously, we are supposed to pay attention to the another facet of university education in the form of research. Simultaneously, we are required to make an effort so as to have an interaction with the industry. What exactly industry expects from the educational institutes? What kind of inputs we are getting from the society? What kind of outputs do the industry and other sectors of the economy they expect from us? And accordingly, making modifications in all aspects of the teaching learning process, all aspects of education. Let it be curriculum, let it be research processes, or let it be conduct of examination, let it be development of the students. Whatever it is, always with an eye of what the prospective employers expect from the freshers. In the light of that, we are supposed to think, rethink, review the entire aspects of this value chain of the education process We are required to protect the interest of all the stakeholders, and then only we can give justice to our role as a faculty in higher education. And lastly, the fourth aspect of university education speaks about extension work. So, whatever we are doing in the university, let it be teaching, let it be research, let it be designing the curriculum. So, everything we want to pursue in the form of needs of the region, in the form of finding out solutions to the problems which the community is facing, which the society is expecting from us, from higher education, from the educational institutes. And it is with this respect. Number initiatives we teachers we carry on in our day-to-day activities. Well, friends, in the first session, I'm just trying to plan to make you just share with you whatever I have understood regarding the concept of sustainable development as well as climate responsibility. Simultaneously, we'll be trying to make an assessment of what we can do as a faculty in higher education. In context of the institution, what is expected from us, we'll try to just introspect on that. And the next session exclusively that would be dealing with role of higher education, role and responsibility of higher education with reference to the concept of sustainable development. And why basically it's expected from us, so that dimension also we can carry on in the second session. And from time to time, wherever it is appropriate, I would like to share my personal experiences with you as a teacher, as a researcher, as a finance and accounts officer, as a pro vice chancellor, as a member of International Students Committee, as a NAC peer team member, as member of RRC, RAC, POS, various capacities wherein we work from time to time. Learning is there. Many times we have to unlearn whatever we have seen. Clean slate we have to make, and fresh we have to begin right from zero. So, along with learning, the aspects of relearning, unlearning, they are again equally being important. And I expect this session to be multidirectional. Wherever you think that you are required to add something, you are required to just you don't agree with me, or you agree with me and you wish to supplement whatever just statement I'm just putting in front of you, feel free to express that by unmuting your audio, or maybe you can put any remark or comment in the chat box also, because in this communication we are required to be at the same level of understanding and at the same level of enjoyment as well. Lecture, it is a peer to peer dialogue, isn't it? So, this is how uh, I'll be sharing few details which are required for to understand before we are clear regarding what kind of role I have to play in my institute, in the society, so as to contribute for the concept of sustainable development. Let us see evolution right from Stockholm to the uh, just a declaration of all these 17 sustainable development goals. each decade is having some kind of widening of the circle from pollution to development. Number of developments we observe with reference to different aspects together. Stockholm in 1973 was the first time the environment entered global diplomacy, the first UN conference to put the environment in focus. 1987, Brundtland Report coined the term sustainable development and gave us the working definition, which very popularly and very just conveniently we apply for the sake of making our plans and taking actions. Thereafter, in another decade, in 1992, Rio Earth Summit produced the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, the treaty body under which the Paris Agreement and every COP, Conference of the Parties, has operated. It produced Agenda 21, which for the first time asked local government and institutions, including universities, to write their own sustainability action plans. Previously, it was not expected, but for the first time, very specifically, it expected that universities, local government, as well as the other institutes, they are required to develop their own sustainability action plan, unless and until it becomes a nationwide movement streaming down the last level of the community, will not be reaching the goal of sustainable development. Then MDGs, Millennium Development Goals, they were established in 2000. Basically, they are narrow. They speak largely about poverty and basic services in the global south. Eradicate extreme, of course, the one of the goals of this MDG talks about ensure environmental sustainability. But out of eight, one goal is about environmental sustainability. Then again, one more goal talks about develop a global partnership for development. So some clarification that is sought through all the phases which are taken place in each decade. 2015 Paris Agreement, it uh, talked about the 17 goals, 17 universal goals, sustainable development goals, which are universal for the first time. They apply in all countries alike. And for the first time, the realization is quality the education SDG 4 that is considered explicitly framed as the multiplier, and it is expected that this SDG 4 of quality education would make every other goal achievable. All other 16 goals, it is supposed they are dependent upon quality education, and it is where role of an educational institute and role of the faculty member comes in. Let us see what these SDGs they are about. There are 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. But the institutional mandate can just be perceived in one sentence. Not just SDG 13 on climate action, but SDG 4 as the delivery mechanism for all the 17 SDGs. Let's focus on only 5 SDGs. SDG 4 quality education, that is the home goal. Then SDG 13, that is the climate action, that is the urgent one, which requires serious kind of focus, serious attention. SDGs 11 and 12, they are about sustainable cities and responsible consumption. Because a campus, an educational institute, that is effectively a small city with its own consumption footprint. Hostel, there are students, there are various kinds of facilities being provided. And accordingly, whatever mechanism we observe outside the institute, it is a replica of all those, whatever energy use, whatever resources we use, whatever wastages they are produced, whatever consumption is being made regarding resources, regarding the priorities. Find that educational institutes, they can put a role model in front of the society. That is what higher education institute they are required to suggest. SDG 17, that is about partnerships. Because because it's not clear. No single department, no single institute, or not a single person can meet all these goals alone. So there is a need of networking, there is a need of collaboration, there is a need of partnership of all like-minded kind of individuals, institutions, and communities together, and then only together, unitedly, we can achieve this goal of sustainable development. Now, with this understanding regarding sustainable development, let's move towards the concept of climate change, climate responsibility, as well as different dimensions of global warming and consequent kind of consequences of global warming. Climate change, it is a long-term change in the average weather patterns that have come to define Earth's local, regional, and global climates. These changes, they have broad range of observed effects, and all those effects, they are synonymous with the term climate change. Changes observed in the Earth's climate since mid 20th century, they are driven by human activities. Of course, some kind of nature also is there, but overwhelmingly, it is just been found that human intervention, that is the major contributor for this climate change. Like human activities like fossil fuel burning, increases heat trapping greenhouse gas levels in the Earth's atmosphere, and because of that, Earth's average surface temperature increases. Natural processes also they have been for the natural processes also there is an intervention of the human beings, like internal variability, cyclical ocean patterns like El Nino, Pacific decadal oscillations, then external forcing kind of example activities like volcanic activity, changes in the sun's energy output, variation in the Earth orbit. All such kinds of activities, they contribute for the climate change, wherein there is a role of natural processes, and again, there is human intervention in speeding up many negative effects of all such kinds of naturally occurring kind of activities as well as processes. Climate data records, they provide evidence of the climate change in the form of key indicators such as global, land, and ocean temperature increases, rising sea levels, ice loss at Earth's poles and mountain glaciers, frequency and severity changes in extreme weather such as hurricanes, heat waves, wildfires, droughts, precipitation, floods, cloud. Now, number of parameters, they have been just expressed by the expert committees, and accordingly scientists continuously they are involved in using the observations from the ground, from the space, from the air. They are making use of computer models also, they are making use of artificial intelligence also, so as to monitor and study past, present, and future climate changes. Of course, there is a high role of AI also in dealing with all these activities together. Today, we'll just have an overlook of all such kind of activities which talk about our role as a higher education faculty with reference to the climate change. Very commonly, we use the terms global change, climate change and global warming as if they are interchangeable terms. But of course, these terms, they are not similar. Both these terms, they have a distinct meaning. Let us see what this global warming is about, and then let us see what kind of distinction is there in between the terms global warming as well as climate change. Global warming, basically, it is the long-term heating of Earth's surface since the pre-industrial period, roughly between 1850 to 1900. And it is attributed to human activities. Just a moment. So human activities, they are mainly responsible for the sake of this long-term heating of the Earth's surface, particularly fuel burning, which result in increase of heat trapping greenhouse gas levels in the Earth's surface. Since pre-industrial period, these human activities, they have estimated to have increased Earth's global average temperature by about 1 degree Celsius. A number which is currently increasing by more than 0.2 degrees Celsius per decade. And this is alarming. We are observing number of adverse consequences of that. This current warming period is undoubtedly, unequivocally the result of the human activity since the 1950s, 1850s, and it is proceeding at an unprecedented rate over per millennia. It was natural to some extent as between the period 1850 to 1900. But now human intervention that is observed very significantly after 1950s. As we have seen, global warming, it refers specifically to the long-term rise in Earth's average surface temperature about 1 degree Celsius since 1880. Climate change includes global warming and it is broader in conception, and it results into various kinds of consequences like rising sea levels, melting ice, changing weather patterns. Basically, a clear distinction is required in between climate change and global warming. Global warming, that is a narrow term. It is the major increase in the global average temperature, and it is driven mainly by human emitted greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, etc. Climate change, that is a broader term. It includes global warming plus all resulting environmental changes. It covers rainfall, altered rainfall. It covers stronger storms, droughts, level in sea rise, melting glaciers, and basically ecosystem shifts also. Global warming, basically, that is the component of climate change. Climate change describes the full system's response to the added heat in atmosphere as well as in oceans. We appreciate from our acquaintance with the environment, with the happenings, we appreciate how different aspects are related to each other. And with a perfect clarity regarding all these happenings, we can incorporate this understanding for the sake of understanding our own role in contributing our best for the sake of sustainable development. Whatever is negative, we are required to eliminate that. And constructive kind of activities we are required to produce by on the basis of our own role as a own role model individually. Institution wise, we are supposed to develop a model and put in front of the society, adjoining community. And while doing that, we are required to carve, shape the personality of the students so that they would become capable, competent, responsible citizens who would be completely aware about all such kinds of aspects which are required for their contribution to the fullest aspect of sustainable development. This global warming, it explains what is driving the problem of heat increase. And climate change explains how that heat reshapes the planet in the form of weather extremes, ocean changes, as well as ecological impacts. Once changes, they occurred naturally, as I said initially. Previous changes, they were natural. However, current warming is only attributed to human intervention and it is happening very fast than historical cycles. And this is a alarming kind of thing. Understand this distinction between global warming and climate change. It clarifies both the cause, that is global warming, and the wide-ranging consequences in the form of climate changes. Now again, one more distinction, it needs to be clear before we touch the other aspects of climate change. Weather and climate. Very loosely, we use both these terms. However, there is a big difference in between these two terms. Weather means atmospheric conditions that occur locally over short periods of time, from minutes to hours, or maybe which extend through days. Familiar examples of this weather they can be quoted as rain, clouds, snow, winds, thunderstorms, or maybe floods. Whereas when we talk about climate, it refers to long term, usually at least 30 years time span is there, which talks about average, global average of temperature, which may be regional or which may be global average of temperature, humidity, and rainfall patterns over seasons, years, or decades. So when it is found in a large time span, that is termed as climate. Among educated community also, number of times, many of the words very mistakenly, they are being used. So we are required to be very much particular regarding use of the terms. Let us see the dynamics of this climate change. Now, friends, we are not supposed to be a student of maybe environmental sciences or any of the faculty of any of the branches of sciences for giving our contribution to the conception. As a responsible citizen, we are supposed to be aware we are supposed to be having a wide exposure regarding different happenings in the society, in our just which impact our day to day life as well as which impact upon the outside climate also. Now, as a teacher, whenever we think about our role, as initially I said, teaching, research, interaction with just industry, and extension, that is community outreach. These are supposed to be the four different dimensions with which we are required to be well versed with. Many times, maybe in the initial phase of our career, we pay attention majorly to teaching. And when it is binding on us for API and for promotions and all that, we shift our focus to research. Some of us, they are having a natural inclination for research activities and they pursue that willingly on their own, spontaneously, naturally, as a just call of the heart. They pursue that. Anyhow, whenever we develop seniority, we start thinking about our role, our responsibility. Whatever I am doing, what is the worth of that? What kind of change I'm making in the life of my students? Whatever impact I'm having regarding their career, regarding their status. Then again, many other aspects like extension work and interaction with the industry, they come into play. Like, some point in time, I started some raise their hands. Do you want to ask something? Please unmute your video and tell me. Roll number 41, please unmute your audio and tell me what you want to say. You are not able to unmute? Put a remark in the chat box. I will read that.
Myself, C. Rushikesh Rathi, ma'am.
Huh?
Ma'am, I just want to say that on one side we talk about quality aspects of education, and on other side we are linking our research work to our promotions. So aren't we compromising with our quality of research and focusing only on quantity?
How is it?
Ma'am, like
I'm not. Huh?
In other countries, they give ample amount of time to think on the topic itself. They give 2 to 3 hours, 3 years on the deciding about the topic on which they want to do research. But in India, we expect that we should complete our PhD within 3 years of joining to get promotions. Each year, we should publish at least 2 to 3 papers. And also, our spending on education is also very less. Our recruitments are also not frequent. There are many vacant places in many colleges, universities. So, are we truly thinking of quality education?
I understand. Number of such issues are there. On my own, also, I experienced many of these issues. But look, here at this moment, again, I would like to just quote Honorable Founder Vice Chancellor of our SRTM University, Dr. Janardhan Wagmare sir. He used to say that ask not what the university can do for you, ask what you can do for the university. So at this moment, dealing with, because the topic of discussion is sustainable development, climate responsibility, and role of higher education in that. So, what we can do from our side with reference to achieving this SDG 4 of quality education and SDG 7 of climate action, so that we are pursuing. I understand number of difficulties are there. On my own also, I went through various difficulties. But anyhow, now again in the second session, while education academic institution, they are required to put their attention, so that issue I have taken, so at length I'll be talking on that, because this is not the platform at this moment, because the topic is different. So a lot of things can be said, and lot of problems can be discussed, a lot of solutions also can be devised. My personal issues which I faced in my career, that also I can share, and what kind of solutions also I found out for that. Very gladly I would love to share those with you. But today, for the sake of this session, let us focus on different issues of quality education, so that we can give justice for climate action, SDG of climate action.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Is it fine?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, fine.
Oh, politicalization is there, exploitation is there, hundreds of issues are there.
Ma'am, I
So,
would just like to highlight one more issue, that few students have been provided with scholarship of 5 years to do research work, and the permanent faculties are expected to do same research within 3 years. So, isn't it injustice with them, because doing the regular jobs, getting a less amount of time, they are expected to produce a good result out of it, and whereas by taking scholarships and doing full-time research work, the other students doing the research work can produce a good quality of outcome, because they have complete time dedicated to the research work. So isn't it an injustice? So I just want to add such kind of thing.
okay, so there are number of controversial kind of issues. Now, in case you ask me, it took me 10 years for working in Nantir's campus unless I regularize my services. 10 years I was struggling. But never was there, never an hour was there wherein I made some kind of sacrifice, or I was discouraged, and I didn't give justice to my job. Never it happened. I kept my moral high, and I was knowing maybe someone would say that tomorrow termination may come for my services. But anyhow, I took it in a positive sense. I considered that today may be my last day at this campus, so I should give my best to the campus. So from that angle, just with that orientation, I worked. Anyhow, I appreciate, I understand your concerns and what kind of just agonies and pains you are going through. But as I said, at this moment, we are supposed to deal with the sustainable development and climate action kind of issues. So we don't have adequate time to deal with that. Anyhow, let us see
Yeah.
at the end of the session, in case we can throw light on that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
So,
you.
personally, I can only say that I went through many of such kind of difficulties which you are talking about. But anyhow, with my own strategies, with my own just philosophy, I went through that. And then uh, I could honor several good positions, and I could do something. I am having the pleasure at this moment that I could do something for my university, for my students, as well as for my faculty members, whenever I could get power in that academic leadership kind of thing. Okay.
Yes,
So
thank you.
let
Thank
us
you.
again be back with reference to the climate change kind of thing. So this greenhouse effect, that is the warming of Earth's surface, caused by gases like water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, which trapped infrared radiation and which were responsible for raising surface temperature compared to the planet without these gases. The greenhouse effect is a natural atmospheric process wherein greenhouse gases they absorb infrared radiation emitted by Earth's surface, re-radiate it, warming the lower surface. But look, without it, Earth's average temperature would be minus 18 degrees Celsius instead of the current minus 15 degrees Celsius. The greenhouse effect is not supposed to be the villain. It is the reason why Earth is habitable at all. Without it, we would be a frozen rock at roughly minus 18 degrees Celsius. The issue is the added layer of gases pumped in since roughly 1850, mainly carbon dioxide from coal, oil, gas, plus methane from agriculture and from waste. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC's sixth assessment report states that it is unequivocal that human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean, and land. It is on the basis of this statement the dynamics of this SDGs that is based upon. Only human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean, and land. In case human influence has done that, definitely we can use that kind of influence for the sake of making desirable changes as far as this climate responsibility is concerned. Now, what kind of impact we observe with reference to this climate change? Like number of issues they have been raised, like headline risk are level rise, heat extremes, and consequent displacement out of that. With reference to our India specific kind of realities, we observe heat stress days, monsoon variability, we observe erratic monsoons, intensifying cyclones, recurring floods, and like that. And it's because of that we have to take the responsibility for the sake of making a significant kind of change as far as the climate responsibility is concerned. Because universities don't just study the future, they help produce it. That is the reality. Because of that, I talked about four dimensions of university education. Now, specifically this moment, it is incorporated from 1992 quality education. It was supposed to be instrumental in making this kind of change, and thereafter, many changes they have taken place. Then you must be knowing that NEP 2020 again talks about the same kind of issues. Then now also UGC, various kinds of just apex bodies, they have realized the importance of involving higher education institutions and faculty members and consequent making for consequent changes in that. And because of that, at our own level, let us see what we can be able to do. What is our role at that moment? Universities, as I mentioned in this slide, universities sit at a rare intersection. They are tomorrow's decision makers, they produce the research the world relies on. They hold real estate as well as endowments which are large enough to move markets and carry public trust. Few institutions still enjoy. Number of institutions, they have become a very strong kind of brand. And because they are having a high credibility, brand equity is high. Obviously, such institutes, they are not only required to teach, they are required to lead. And because of that, because of this combination, because of the role of higher education institutions in training the professionals, because of the role of higher education institutions in bringing out the solutions to the many problems which the community is facing. Because universities, they are not supposed to be the ivory institutes which sit only in the ivory towers and they teach whatever they think appropriate, whether it's working in the society or not. Are the students they are making a positive contribution to the societal well-being or not? They are making a significant kind of contribution to the economic development, to the national development or not? That is the basic issue. Each sometimes we make an assessment of this kind. I would like to share my own example with you. Uh, Entrepreneurship development, my area of interest. I enrolled for PhD with a topic on study of women entrepreneurship in Marathwada region. When I wanted to register for my PhD, I explored number of topics at that time. In 96, I registered. And at that time, I wanted to explore number of topics together. The moment at which I realized the importance of entrepreneurship development, course, it was never there when I did my MBA. It was not there in the curriculum. In the 1994, when I joined School of Commerce and Management Sciences at Nantir campus of Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University, then I saw the curriculum and therein there was inclusion of the course Entrepreneurship Development. Then I started studying that because never I had an idea of that in my formal education. In graduation or post graduation, it was not there. So I went in the library. No single book was there in my library in those days. So I went to the library of adjoining colleges, good colleges and good old colleges. Then I went to my own university at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. I went to institutions like MCED. I met several professionals, several experts and consultants who were working at that time on development of entrepreneurship, and therein I just uh, uh, tried to update myself. I learned regarding what this entrepreneurship development is about. It was done for the sake of uh, because that course was allotted to me in workload distribution. The head of the department gave me that subject. And then I started preparing that kind of topic, different ways. When I started learning the area of entrepreneurship development, then I realized that for my region, wherein I'm born and wherein I'm married, Marathwada region, it was not industrially developed. Till now, it is lagging behind. So I thought there is lack of entrepreneurship in this region. So So, as a teacher, it is my responsibility to do something. I understand my own limitations. I'm just fraction of this entire universe. But anyhow, squirrels share. I must give back to the society. With that orientation, I started working on that topic. And when there was a chance of making my registration and working on any specific area of uh, that discipline for my work, then I chose women entrepreneurship because I referred a study of Professor M.U. Deshpande, who was in Marathwada University, then Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in those days. Then I referred his thesis, which was on entrepreneurship of small scale enterprises in Marathwada region. I read that and I observe number of difficulties, number of inconveniences, and I observe a number of hardships and challenges with reference to entrepreneurship in Marathwada region. And then to my I was literally shocked when I found that Not single lady entrepreneur was there. Only men, they used to assume that kind of responsibility. So a big question in front of me, why women, they are not pursuing entrepreneurship? I'm talking about 70s. In 70s, that study was conducted. One of the pioneering work in our country was made through that entrepreneurship. It was a doctoral dissertation. Uh, then I realized that I have to find out why this women entrepreneurship is shy, why it is not visible in the region. What might be the reasons for that? And being just as I said, being born and being married in that area, my concern was from the bottom of my heart regarding I had to do something for finding out the problem, and I should try to find out some kind of solution out of that. So I picked up that women entrepreneurship area. And then slowly I started working on that. Now in this that was 96, I registered for that. Then I made some observations, and accordingly, uh, at whatever opportunities I could get, maybe through conferences, maybe through industry meets, maybe through industry interactions, maybe by inviting several experts and professionals to my university campus, taking their interviews. Number of opportunities I tried to find out for just finding out what can I do for the sake of just making my own contribution in this area. So, uh, accordingly, I worked on that, prepared a questionnaire, made a survey of all the 8 districts of Marathwada region, conducted some informal discussions, and very concrete kind of just observations I came up with, which I shared with, as I said, various institutions. And accordingly, tried my best so as to just make at least some kind of difference, at least in fractions, maybe, for the sake of boosting up this proposal of entrepreneurship. This after few years, again, I was curious to know what happened to those women entrepreneurs, because those some women entrepreneurs, they were fake entrepreneurs, because government was giving them some benefits, some incentives, subsidies, and because of that, the enterprises registered in the name of women, actually no women was working there. Got the addresses from institutions like MSFC, State Financial Corporation of Maharashtra State. Now it is not in existence, but in those days it was working, and it was doing a commendable work in those days. So I got a list from them. I contacted DIC, I contacted MCD, which was the very effective work, which was doing a very effective work in training the entrepreneurs. I contacted them from all. Then again, I contacted MIDC officials. I got list of entrepreneurs and list of enterprises from them also. And where I sent all such kinds of list from all such kinds of sources and institutions, then I started visiting, the field, visiting the women entrepreneurs. When I went there, I was not able to find some addresses. Then I was confused. I didn't know what to do. The work was stuck up because I didn't know what to do. The addresses, they were noted in the listing, but they were not found. And then after a few days, I realized that for the sake of getting benefit of the government schemes, wrongly, women's name, they were incorporated. Men were working. Sometimes they were not working. They only just grab the subsidy, and thereafter, no activity it could take place. So such was the pathetic condition in those days. Then I changed the way to approach women entrepreneurs. I went to each city, each district place with some acquaintance. Through acquaintance, I used to get a few names of actually working women entrepreneurs, actual dynamic women entrepreneurs. I used to meet them. I used to seek information from them. Accordingly, I used to get few other names. Their names were not registered anywhere because they didn't take any kind of loan as such from any institute. They didn't take any kind of training or any kind of consultancy assistance from any of the institutes. So their names, they were not enrolled. But anyhow, working in a good way. Their work was on a limited scale. But anyhow, the entrepreneurs in the true sense of the term. So this way, I approached them, I sought information from them, and I just indicated my observations as well as my conclusions, and I gave recommendations on that basis. Some entrepreneurs, they increase the scale of operations only to the extent they can give full justice for their domestic role. The moment they realize that they are not in position, they increase the scale of operations of their enterprises, they will that will be an injustice to their home, that will be an injustice to the development of their children, that would be an injustice to taking care of the elderly persons in the home. That at that moment they backed out. So that kind of observation I made in those days. What is the situation today? I was bothered about that question. And again, near about 2010, near about after 10 years, uh, after pursuing my research, once again, I developed a research proposal for finding out what is the status of women entrepreneurs at this moment. In 1996 to 1999, I observed what was the scenario. Until 2000, all these 4 years, I was monitoring whatever is happening. Accordingly, I developed the conclusions in my thesis. But after that, whatever is happening, I was curious. So once again, I developed a research proposal. This time, I submitted the research proposal to UGC for a major research project grant. And accordingly, I was sanctioned that. And this time, I made a study of women entrepreneurship, a study of women empowerment through entrepreneurship, a study of in Maharashtra state. That kind of study I indicated. So this is not to boast about whatever I did. I am sharing my personal experience because I was having the urge to do something. I was having the urge regarding, I am not supposed only to teach my students in the four walls of the classroom. Instead of that, whenever I know something about development of entrepreneurship, I should utilize that kind of knowledge for the betterment of the society. That was my intention, and because of that, I was just trying to pursue different initiatives through which I was just being able to do that. So this time, after 2010-12, I worked on at Maharashtra level, picked up some cities, picked up some few names, and this time a significant change I observed in the scenario. Accordingly, I made some observations, and uh, at some point in time, the MCD invited me for a work dealing with developing a draft policy document for the sake of entrepreneurship development. At that time, I shared all my inputs, whatever research papers until then, I published my thesis, three theses I wrote, one PhD thesis, another major research project, and one more minor research project also I did with reference to development of entrepreneurship with a different angle. I will tell you about that also later on. So this is how all those indications of my study, whatever reflections were there, I shared with MCD. That was a proper institute. They were completely very dedicatedly. They were working on women entrepreneur. I mean, development of entrepreneurship. Their motto is entrepreneurizing the society. So at Maharashtra level, they were working in an excellent manner. Still now, they are doing their good job. And the moment at which I got the opportunity, I shared all my reflections with that institute so that at least something can be done for the betterment of the situation. So this is how number of times we observe that we decide about uh, as a director of this school of Commerce and Management Sciences, as a member of RRC, I have observed number of times that some topics they are just taken for pursuing research only for the sake of just convenience, only as a matter of convenience. There is not a serious kind of thought regarding what I am going to achieve. Whenever I am putting my energy, whenever I am putting my attention, whenever I am giving best time of my life regarding this research work. So I have to see that really it is contributing for the betterment of the situation. Accordingly, in case we are pursuing that kind of thing, then only we can give justice for our task. As I said, one minor research project also I did with reference to entrepreneurship development, because the moment at which I used to enter any class, my own class of MBA or MCOM, or whenever as a guest lecturer, I used to interact with the students from other faculties of knowledge also, maybe pharmacy, maybe engineering, maybe other science disciplines, humanities, social sciences. Then at that moment, just a moment. So naturally, whenever I used to enter the class as an entrepreneurship teacher, I used to ask them, how many of you would like to become entrepreneur? Now situation is changed. In the last 10 years, when I come in the class and ask the same question, now 30 to 40% of the students of MBA as well as MCOM and other faculties also, some 5% increase or decrease maybe there in the percentage, but they are willing to become entrepreneur. They are willing to establish their startups at this moment because of number of facilitating factors are there today. But in those days, 2000, 2010, until then, the situation was not so just rosy as it seems today. So I was worried. Why students they are not willing to become entrepreneurs? Then what I am doing with reference to with reference to teaching the subject and with reference to training, trying to train them. So I wanted to know what are the barriers which keep them away from choosing entrepreneurship as a career, and therein I developed a research proposal and I submitted that to my own Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University, titled as Barriers to Entrepreneurship Among Commerce and Management Students, a case study of SRTM University, Nanded. And accordingly, I worked on that. I conducted a survey, and very drastic, significant, and meaningful kind of observations I could get out of that study, which helped me a lot in the latter phase of my work as a teacher, as a researcher, as an academic administrator, and like that. Similarly, the moment at which I was given the course of disaster management, the same kind of experiments I conducted with reference to disaster management also. Now, in 2020 also, it talks about holistic and multidisciplinary education. Student, we think about our role as a teacher. We understand that K, S, and A, these are the three important aspects: knowledge, skills, and attitude. On all these three levels, a teacher has to work. Teacher's role is not only limited to sharing of knowledge, only completing the syllabus, sharing the notes, making them ready for the sake of writing good examination paper, and just seeing to it that they are passing out with good marks. That is not at all equal and sufficient. One aspect of this triangle, teaching learning process, sharing of knowledge. Another aspect is developing skills. So, what efforts are we making for the sake of developing consequent skills in our students? It's sustainable development, an issue, not subject. Any this kind of issue like sustainable development, issue like climate change, climate responsibility, global warming, is such a big movement involving the society that is expected only we can make a difference. And through that, we teachers, we are having a very, very significant and very, very important role to do that. Let's realize what it is, what is expected from them, where they are missing, what kind of changes they can make, problem they are being faced. Are they able to find out the solutions? So this is how we are required to work out of this activity. Disaster management subject, again the same thing. A subject like disaster management in close to the issue of contribution to sustainable development, very much close to the various kinds of practices, because disasters they are of various kind. There are natural disasters, there are man-made disasters. Natural disasters basically natural, but anyhow, I mean, natural disaster that indicate that nature is responsible for bringing out these disasters, but it is not like that. Natural, many of the natural disasters, there is an active human intervention being involved for triggering such kind of natural disasters also. Unless and until there is some kind of just collision between nature and the human settlements, no disaster it would be taking place. And man-made disaster attributed mainly the human nature, human tendencies, human behavior that is only responsible, human activities for the sake of man-made disasters. So whenever we talk about such kind of influence in the negative sense of human activities, human mindset, human training, definitely we teachers, we are having a very, very big role to perform in training the impressionable minds of the students. Seeing to it that they are sharing knowledge, they are developing some kind of skills, community specific skill, they are learning some kind of meaningful skills so that they can be able to contribute for the finding out some solutions which have been faced, which are being faced by the society. So this is how higher education's responsibility, I'm just trying to indicate out of these different kinds of examples. We celebrate, we just plan several kinds of activities like maybe green campus. Then again, we just plan no vehicle days so as to indicate, so as to just emphasize upon the young minds that this is a small move, but it is having far-reaching consequences as far as so environmental balance is concerned, as well as developing eco-friendly and environmental activities is concerned. So, number of opportunities are there for us to do that. We used to celebrate Thursdays as no vehicle day in our Dantir campus. So those days, what used to happen is there is less attendance. There used to be less attendance of the students because now to be at home. No vehicle day means holiday. So as a teacher, I thought I should do something so as to make change things change. So what I did, those students, those who are coming, I have to reward them. I have to give them some incentives. Whereas those who are not coming, I have to give them some attraction. I have to put in front of them some attraction so that they would feel like coming to the school even on no vehicle days. So what I did was that day, disaster management class, it was concerned only with audio visual presentation. I'm talking about the initiative before 10 years. In those days, um, social media and all that, it was not that active as we observe today. At now, the information, videos, everything that is at our fingertips nowadays. But 10 to 15 years before, it was not like that. So efforts were required so for getting the online content, videos and all that being just visible for them. So in those days, I used to use LCD projector, and I used to invite all the students in the class, and I used to tell them that uh, sometimes we worked on natural disasters. So earthquake, in case it is chosen, then how earthquake happens. So that kind of audiovisual presentation it was being made. Sometimes the students, I used to motivate them so that on their own they would be presenting such kinds of videos, such kind of videos in the class. They used to make the presentations, seminar presentations, video presentations, and accordingly, some case studies, just Killari earthquake, maybe Bhopal gas tragedy, they used to present in the class. So complete freedom it was given to them, do whatever they can in all the 60 minutes. So literally, it was a fun activity, and students and me enjoyed like anything. Sometimes we used to watch the movies also, which were based on disasters, and accordingly, we made it a very enjoyable kind of activity, and thereby all those absentees they were again being just motivated to be present, or even it was a no vehicle day. So this is how on our own we are required to incorporate several such kinds of activities at our own level. Institution level, number of strategies that can be made, that is a different kind of thing. At department level also, number of different initiatives can be taken. Faculty wise, list of different initiatives is different, and individually also you can do a lot at your own level. You can do a lot regarding all these. Now, again, that reminds me one more just experiment I conducted while I was dealing with total quality management. Uh, in MBA curriculum, seminar presentation that is supposed that had been a very compulsory part of the curriculum as far as internal assessment was concerned. So near about a weightage of 20 marks, which was there for seminar presentation. And we used to register the topic of the students, and we used to give them just freedom to present the topic in their own way. Once I found that instead of individual presentation, why not make it a group presentation kind of activity, so that together they will come together, they will brainstorm on the topic, and they would help each other for making a good presentation. They would just multiply their efforts, and they would just get diverse kind of sources, and more energy and more attention they can give on the topic. And therein they would learn, because they were the students of management, so they had to learn how to get along with the others, how to convince people, how to impress upon them, how to conduct the meetings, how to just uh, uh, exercise leadership. So that was again an activity of this kind. So that kind of management skills also they used to be developed. Listening skills, writing skills, presentation skills, asking the questions, answering the questions given just to the given questions, analytical ability, decision making skills, communication ability. So all such kinds of skills, they can be developed out of such kind of activities. So I told them that I gave them as only a topic of total quality management. I made groups in the class. I mean, I told them that make groups of, for a student of 60 size in the class, I told them that prepare a group of 5 students each on your own, make up your own choice and develop your own groups. So some groups voluntarily they were prepared, and some students they were left, they were not in a position to make a choice. They didn't know where to go and to whom to call, no leadership ability. So that was a lesson for them also, regarding how to connect with the others. They learned that, they indicated that at the end of the term, they indicated me that they learned, that kind of realization imposed upon them out of this activity. So for those who were indecisive, so I helped them for making their groups. After making the groups, I told them all the 12 groups, uh, only one topic is given to you, and complete freedom is given to you for making your presentation. I gave them the topic of TQM, Total Quality Management. I said, present in any manner in which you find it appropriate. You can dance in the class, you can sing in the class, you can present a skit in the class, you can write a poem, and you can present a poem in the class, your choice. I told them. I mean, I'm talking about far below the reality shows and all that. Before that, I talked about this kind of initiative. But anyhow, I remember Coffee with Karan show was there at that time. And one group of the students, they took that topic uh, and they presented it in a style like Coffee with Karan. Some of them, they played the role of a cricketer. Some of them, they played the role of a celebrity. And accordingly, with their own discipline. I mean, in case they are working from film, in case they are from cricket, in case they are from badminton. So accordingly, they indicated what is TQM in case of badminton, what is TQM in case of film, acting. So accordingly, they express. I gave them adequate time, 15 to 20 minutes for each group. And accordingly, after a break of journey or preparation time after of a month, they made their presentation, excellent presentation, they made excellent, really beyond my just imagination, and beyond their imagination also. They made very good efforts. One group developed a skit that one student, they acted like school children, wore the school uniforms, and they came, and they indicated that one topper student is there and one student is fail, and that student was just very unhappy. And that then he meets the topper student, the topper girl. She tells him how with the help of TQM, she was able to just make the highest position in the examination. All the just parameters of the TQM, all the dimensions she indicated, and she said that I used all these techniques of the tools and techniques of TQM, and because of that, I am a topper now. So this is how they presented. In this manner, one group just indicated a gathering, and out of this gathering, they presented several activities and they indicated TQM in their activity. So this is how students' capacity and presentation, their ability, that is tremendous. The only thing is we have to give some kind of just work for them to focus their energy upon. We should give them some chance so that they would work on that kind of ability. So similarly, regarding sustainability, also the same thing can be done. As I said, regarding disaster management, we did the same, and accordingly, we could get very good results out of such kind of activities. Now it is time to just have a break. Uh, what kind of break you generally take? 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
10 minutes, madam.
Yeah.
Minutes. Okay. So we'll meet after 10 minutes.
Okay.
And we'll begin the second session with expression from your side regarding whatever ideas I conveyed to you until yet. What do you feel about that? Shall we continue?
Yes, yes, please, madam.
So, in the morning session, we tried to develop clarity regarding the concept of sustainable development, climate change, climate responsibility, global warming, and like that. Then again, we tried to understand the evolution of the concept of sustainable development over the years. Each decade, what happened, we have seen that. 17 SDGs, we understood sustainable development goals. And within that, we have seen that SDG 4 of quality education that is supposed to be instrumental in giving momentum for the urgent action goal of climate action and remaining uh, sustainable development goals. With the help of higher education, uh, what can be done, how we can pursue that. So that's what we started a discussion upon at the end of the first session. Now, few minutes, I would like to listen from you, and then whatever are my ideas, I will continue with that.
Excellent presentation, ma'am. Very thought-provoking about this topic. Because my research or area is also climate
Oh,
action only. So the issue is we discuss climate change, global warming, sustainable development, environmental protection, all in one bracket, which is not, it should be rather. The thing is, whenever we, am I audible?
yes, very
Yeah.
much. Mhm.
When we talk of climate change, there is no legislation as of now. There is no law for dealing directly
Mhm.
with climate change. And I discussed it in my PhD topic, in my PhD thesis also, that there are no laws directly. There are, as of now, there are no laws directly to deal with climate change, which is a broad term.
Okay.
The thing is, there are no commissions also for dealing with climate change. Whenever we have to discuss climate change, we discuss it in the larger bracket of sustainable development or environment or something like that, which is, I think, is a which is which I think is a very large gap to be filled up. Now, uh, as this is the situation, as per my view, in for domestic jurisdiction. As far as international place is concerned, we cannot have any solution to this climate change, the big problem of climate change, without doing it at a international level. Because धुआं उड़ता है तो वो ये नहीं देखता है कि वो बिहार है कि यूपी है कि पाकिस्तान है कि अमेरिका है. So the thing is, and that there is a forum. Always, at each and every year, there is COP, conference of parties, that take place, annual event that take place. But there are three pertinent issues about which the discussion has started from 1989, and still as of 2025, the last year when COP happened, there has not been any solution. One is about technology transfer, the other thing is about finance, and the third thing is about capacity building. So at 2010 Conference of Parties Summit, the developed world said that they will be giving $100 billion per year by 2020. But uh, as of February 2020, a
Mhm.
total of 10.3 US dollar has been mobilized. So there is no action on the finance front. The same is also the situation about technology transfer and capacity building. So these are some of the issues which I think have to be solved to really realize the climate, to really convert the climate of the present Earth in a better state. That's my summation, humble summation, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. It happens. Many of the development they are taking place at this moment. Number of bodies they are working on that. Number of researchers and scientists they are working on that. Policymakers also they are trying their best. I remember in 1996, I remember that disaster management subject was included in the curriculum. No other university in our country had that course in the MBA curriculum. We are the pioneers in that. But anyhow, with the help of our sciences faculty like Dr. Dhananjay Edekar, we started that kind of course in our MBA program. Then we prepare course material. We conducted 2 workshops in which different disciplinarians representing different aspects of work, different sectors of the economy, dealing with different types of disasters, we invited. And through their deliberations, we just collected a study material. Dr. Edekar, he had a prime role in that. I was just a learner in that. But anyhow, right from the day one, I was associated with that. Then at the last, we concluded that study material giving the topic disaster management, Indian scenario, what needs to be done. It's just a long list of near about 15 to 20 kind of suggestions they were included in that. And then years passed, and now at some point in time, I realized that I had to skip that topic from my just list of just content I used to share with the students. It was completely being done. Everything was done. Disaster Management Act, it was developed.
Right.
Previously, it was not there. And very just now, I could not know why in the beginning, but when I started with that course, I started teaching and discussing with the students. Then I realized that the responsibility of disaster management, it was entrusted to the Ministry of Agriculture. And maybe disaster means drought, and drought means the responsibility of the Ministry of Agriculture. Maybe with that orientation or no, I don't know. But that was the task to be done by Ministry of Agriculture. Then flood was just flood management was to be expected to be done by some ministry. Then environmental related disaster, some different ministry was given. So a listing was there that which disaster under which ministry it was supposed to be taken care about. And activities they used to be done only after a disaster was done. Now disaster happened, and thereafter the activities they used to begin. Pre-disaster, nothing was there. But now we are very much convenient regarding all these kind of things. Pre-disaster planning perfectly it is being done. During disaster do's and don'ts now nicely they have been documented and nicely they are now being circulated. So similarly, sustainable development, that issue also will find the same scenario. Then Ministry of Entrepreneurship and Skill Development, it was not there previously. Now it is there. Then Ministry of an act for MSME, it was not there in existence. But now before few years, again it has been enacted and nicely the activities they have been taking place. So let us hope similarly on similar lines a concrete kind of framework we'll observe regarding the sustainable development and climate change kind of initiatives also. It's nice that you are pursuing research in this area. So you can do a lot for the sake of spread of these conceptions and getting a leadership for teachers as well as for students and the community members also. So extension work, tremendous scope is there to do in this area.
It's not that things are not being done. Things are being done. The only thing I wanted to highlight was there is clearly absence of any legislation. कोई विधेयक नहीं है इस पे. The thing is, there is no law as of now to deal with climate change. That's what I wanted to highlight. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other view, any other say? Before I continue with the rest of the plant features. Yes, Dr. Abuj, roll number 21. You can unmute yourself and talk.
Ma'am, this is Rosia, roll number 29. Am I audible?
Hmm.
Hello,
Huh?
am I
Yes,
audible?
please carry on. Yes,
Ma'am,
yes.
you told us about women entrepreneurs. Is there
Mhm.
any subsidies for women entrepreneurs so that they can go ahead?
No, number of subsidies and number of good schemes are there of the government.
You said they are not
You
coming
can
out.
you can visit Ministry of MSME website.
Okay,
Hmm.
fine, thank you, ma'am.
Several other websites also. I will share those addresses with the director. He will communicate to you.
Fine.
Hmm.
Oh, sir, please ask and unmute
Ma'am,
yourself and ask.
madam, I was muted, ma'am, by the part. Sorry. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, please carry on.
Ma'am, in the pandemic, ma'am, it was automatically, madam, naturally, it was, ma'am, everything was clogged. Madam, the climate and the weather became automatically purified in the period of pandemic. Ma'am,
We are moving on roads.
yes.
Mhm.
Madam, due to the less pollution and means air pollution, noise, water pollution, madam, the river Ganga was made clean automatically. Yamuna and Ganga, in the period of pandemic. मैडम क्या होता है जब हम कुछ करते हैं कि मैडम द आई थिंक मैडम in UP there was one person who drove the car on the AS2 and also on hydrogen. Madam, but the government does not support them, ma'am.
Mhm.
Madam, the government is not willing to support. Just it is the government is making scenario. Just
Mhm.
means we have to do this, we
Why
have to
do
do that.
always we expect government to intervene and government to initiate? We are empowered enough to do that.
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
In last month, I visited Dhule and Chalisgaon, and wherein I met with Honorable Padma Shri Chaitramji Pawar.
Acha.
So, what kind of work he did? Government is giving subsidies and for giving help. He's saying no. He's just sending them back. He said, no, nothing is required. We are empowered enough to do that. He said his forest, which belonged to his village, that is costing 3,000 crores. They are planning about carbon credits also on their own. No role of government in that. Only the villagers they are doing that. Vanvasi Kalyan the initiative is that the institute is with them, no one else. I mean, several NGOs are with them, but the initiator is Chaitramji Pawar and some of his teammates. So the problem is always we expect government to take initiative and government to help us. What government? On our own also we can just develop several kinds of activities. And when good activities are taking place, government is there. As Chaitramji Pawar also indicated, that Devendra ji, he said he has given him 9 crore kind of things initially, and without demanding, he is getting help now. So automatically, when you are just committed to a good task, when you are doing good work, automatically people they come to you several NGOs also come, several governmental organizations and authorities, they come to you. But only when you keep mum, you keep you are idle and you are expecting others to do that, then it's not getting done. That's what I believe in. That's what I have observed in all these years. So why we teachers we wait for BOS to make syllabus updation and all that? Why do we wait for NEP 2020 to come and just indicate us that we should take internship initiatives, we give them field exposure and all that. On our own, at our own level also we can do that. No one stops us from doing that. That's what I believe. Because several of such kind of constraints I observe on my own. But anyhow, always we can give our own contribution at our own level. Right? By Rampada Prakalpa. Right? Number of such examples are there wherein people really they did wonders. Well, let's see why basically this quality education and higher education is supposed to talk about sustainable development and make a mark with reference to their own efforts. Because the quote rightly mentions universities don't just study the future, they help produce it. Why universities? Universities sit at a rare intersection. Very true. They are tomorrow's decision makers. The destiny of India is now being shaped in our classrooms. I heard the quote. I read the quote in my classroom when I entered the Nantil campus. Very true. We are having that kind of responsibility. We are privileged one having honored this kind of just with responsibility to just make some kind of change in the life of people, life of the student. So that is a very, very enjoyable kind of thing. So I love my profession because of that. Number of times I went into academic administration, but because not on my own, I opted for that. I am, and I used to be very much happy as a teacher. I think that is the most noble and most just enjoyable kind of profession where you can do a lot. No one can stop you from that. Only when there was some kind of request from someone and there was a need, then only I went into administration. Otherwise, teaching, that is the perfect thing for one, wherein we can experiment with number of ideas and we can get the pleasure of change and transformation in the personality of the students whenever they are in front of us in 2 years or 3 years, they are with us. And within that, what kind of transformation we contribute for the sake of their contribution. So that is really a feeling which stays with us forever. That is a lifetime kind of treasure for us. Well, so we train tomorrow's decision makers, we train professionals, and at the same time, we uh, we have the responsibility, we have the authority and the power so as to shape the what kind of research would be carried on in our institute. In various capacities, we can influence that region specific, very constructive, positive kind of research it has to take place. We have to see as a decision maker, as a faculty, as a researcher, we have to see to it that as just member of several administrative and academic bodies in the university, we have to see to it that uh, number of patents they would be coming up out of this research and out of publications. Just doing research only for the sake of getting research, only for the sake of getting degree, making publication only for the sake of getting increment. So we have to go beyond that. We have really to see that research is really being meaningful. It is helping someone. It is touching some part of the societal problem. It is finding out at least some solutions for the betterment of the society. Everyone has to see to this angle, and definitely with that, we'll be reaching the ultimate goal of sustainable development, inclusivity, and all that. Then universities and educational institutes, they hold real estate and endowments large enough to move markets. Uh, they are having significant kind of investment, and accordingly with that kind of investment, definitely they can just give, as I gave the example of Chaitramji Pawar. So he is very simple person. In case you see him anywhere, you will never just get the feeling that he is such kind of a great personality. He is so simple, and he is so clear in his mind, and he knows to whom to approach, to whom to contact, what kind of brainstorming has to take place. He knows all such kinds of things, and with that, he was able, without any just financial assistance from someone, he was able to make sustainable living for the society. Then carry public trust, few institutions still enjoy. So governments, many of the times, depending upon the political ideologies and depending upon various controversies, who is at the center, who is at the state in power. So depending upon that, number of times, people, they don't find government being trustworthy in some situations. Number of problems are there, bureaucracy is there, maybe some unpleasant experiences regarding corruption we made, lengthy procedures, bureaucratic setup, number of problems are there. So because of which, government may not be for all of them, all of us, maybe very good trusting kind of thing at some point in time. Media also is not having that kind of authenticity nowadays, but definitely universities and educational institute, they can take that kind of place of being authentic, of just being integrity, and having just a place where people can trust, people can just believe that this is the good institute and it can do something really meaningful and fruitful for the sake of societal well-being. And because of all these dimensions of teaching, research, then again, with reference to engagement, various kinds of partnerships, because of that, higher education is just, there are high expectations with reference to climate action and regarding all that. So, what basically are the roles of the higher education? Educate, research, operate, engage, and lead. These are the various ways and means through which higher education is able to make a remarkable kind of impression for seeking sustainable development. So, through education, what we teach and how we teach, it matters a lot. The curriculum, the pedagogy, student literacy on sustainability across every discipline, not only environment, not only science, but all disciplines, student literacy is required on sustainability. Then embedding sustainability literacy and systems thinking across every discipline, not just regarding environmental program. That is again one more initiative. As far as research is concerned, we are supposed to generate real solutions. We are supposed to generate knowledge. Researcher, they are supposed to generate technology. They are supposed to provide evidences that would be addressing various kinds of climate challenges. Then this is how efforts they are required from the higher education institutes regarding operation, campus operations, how the institute itself is run. So again, that is a big issue for the sake of demonstration to the others. At some point in time, I remember I read Vittal Kamat's Marathi book, Idli, Orchid, and Me. So that is a very good book in which he expressed all his efforts for the sake of just putting up his hotel industry as such. And then how he built up his eco-friendly hotel Orchid, all the procedures, his efforts, initiatives. He expressed in a very interesting kind of manner, in a very simple and interesting style. He expressed everything. The moment at which reads, I was very much impressed by that. And my own copy I circulated among my students, and I just at every platform, I indicated that you should read book like this. So at least you can get some inspiration, some idea. In case some interesting case studies they are posed in front of you, definitely you may pick up some spark is there, and there is a possibility of igniting that kind of spark out of such kind of successful case studies. In my class, I used to carry on such kind of experiments when I used to deal with a course of business entrepreneurship. I used to conduct a seminar session regarding case study of successful entrepreneur. Every student was required to register name of a successful entrepreneur, meet him or her personally, maybe personally or maybe not, if not possible, then maybe online through any means of communication, or read information and present that information in the class as if he or she met him personally. All the issues, what kind of effort he or she has initiated, then how that activity began, what is the family background, what are the motivating factors, which were the inhibiting kind of factors, what is the philosophy, what kind of problems the entrepreneur faced, how the solutions they were found out, what kind of philosophy that entrepreneur held, and then what kind of awards and achievement that person achieved, what kind of development took place out of his or her initiatives, then how that person made an impact on the lives of the others, on all such kinds of dimension. Everyone was required to make a presentation in detail with the help of audio-visual kind of aids. So, in case there are 60 students in the class, at least 40, 50, or maybe 60, total 60 case studies, every student is aware about throughout the term. So, such kind of big impact, making kind of activities. In case we are just conducting in the classroom, definitely it helps a lot. There is a motivation, and everyone is inspired to do something. I said that why always you talk about the Bill Gates and why always talk about Dhirubhai Ambani and Anil Ambani and like that. In case you find that your father is a very successful and a very enthusiastic and dynamic entrepreneur, you can present case study of your father also. In case you find that your sister is doing a commendable kind of job, very well, I encourage them to present their own case studies also, and it went very well. So this is how number of initiatives on our own we are required to operate, we are required to introduce, and then students they get inspiration and they literally do wonders. So several such kinds of successful entrepreneurs I experienced in my career, several such kinds of case studies, and they indicated such kind of every teacher has to go for such kinds of counseling as well as mentoring, not only for a particular kind of issue, but wherever there is an opportunity, this kind of counseling as well as mentoring, that is a must as far as teaching learning kind of process is concerned, as far as development of the student is concerned. Regarding operations of the higher education institute, regarding operate, how the institution itself being run, electricity mix, water recycling, what is being done, what is being done regarding waste segregation, what kind of transportation activities they are going on, then running a low carbon, resource efficient, climate resilient kind of campus. So this is how uh, higher education institutions they can work in a very significant kind of manner. Then engage activities is essential because single individual or single institution may not be able to make a good impact, a significant kind of impact. So you have to join your hands together, collaborations, significant kind of ventures, they have to take place, and partnerships, various kinds of partnership, they are required to be established with municipal bodies, with local self-governments, with industry, with NGOs, with schools. So at one point in time, you had to partner with the community, you had to partner with the industry, you had to partner with the government as far as local climate action is concerned. So, School of Earth Sciences, we had in our Dantirth campus. They used to make such kinds of activities for the society. In case you want to test hardness of your water, so that facility was available free of cost. Or maybe there is no harm in making a reasonable charge also, because universities also they require money, they require just some budget being spent for other deserving kind of ventures and projects as such. So in case you want to test the soil, so that kind of facility also has to be made available. So whatever expertise you are having, from that angle I said K, S, A, S and A, three aspects are important as far as development of the students is concerned. Share knowledge with them. Very true. That is the must. That is the basic requirement. In addition to that, what kinds of consequent skills students can be able to grasp? So that has to be indicated by a teacher, and accordingly, a teacher has to make the students employable as well as entrepreneurial. So that kind of issue has to be taken into consideration. Then regarding cutting of the campus emissions, waste and water usage, treating facility as a live teaching lab. Again, these are some few representative kind of initiatives with which we can begin our activity. Then last is regarding leadership. All these activities, educate, research, operate, engage, and lead. All these activities, these are sequential activities, but anyhow, logically sequential, but practically, simultaneously, these activities, they are carried on in practice. And most institutions, they work on all five activities. Of course, speed of everyone is different. Speed can never be the same. Some institutions, they are more powerful in some aspect than the others. They not master all the five activities together. But anyhow, every institution has to appreciate that on all these five roles, we have to work very fast simultaneously, and accordingly, we can give good justice for the task thereby. When we are forming such kind of roles, we'll understand that number of barriers we face. Nothing, no, again, one of my friends indicated some difficulties in the first session. Of course, number of difficulties are there, and number of difficulties, they are bound to be there at personal level, at family level, at work level, work home role conflict, politicalization, exploitation, casteism, number of victimization, of course, all such kinds of human tendencies, they are bound to be there. But anyhow, within that, we have to find our own way. We have to find out our own solutions at our own level. And wherever it is possible, let us have a collaboration of like-minded persons, because together, synergistic effects say that together we can achieve much more. Individually, whatever we can, team in team, we can achieve much more. 2 plus 2 is always more than 5 whenever we are in a group. So we have to appreciate that. Be with like-minded persons and constructively try to give rise to some kind of activity. Number of barriers are there, but we have to learn how to overcome such kinds of barriers simultaneously at our own level. Sometimes by seeking the help of the others, but anyhow, even if there is no one, on our own also, in case you meditate, you keep silent, and on our own we think in isolation, my own experience says, very dramatic, very magic kind of solutions on our own we are able to generate. Specifically for my research work, I experienced that several times. Normally, when we are faced with a problem, what we do is we go to someone and we discuss that problem, and we expect that that person would be helping us. Instead of that, I always prefer to sit in silence, meditate, think in isolation about that issue, and very dramatically, as I said, very magically, I have found many solutions which never I believe that I can generate on my own. So you can also experiment, if not until yet you have experimented with that. And whenever really someone there are helping people around you, then no one can stop you from reaching your destination. So number of barriers are there, such as curricular rigidity is there, that there is fixed syllabus, there is fixed credit structure, and there is no scope for inserting new cross-cutting content. So already I'm overloaded, workload is there. No, I object the term load. It is having a negative connotation. We whenever we decide at the beginning of the term which subjects and which courses I should deal with, it is said that it is termed as workload distribution. How it is load? It is a thing of pleasure. For this work, I am here in this institute. I am on the payroll because I love this work. I like this work, and because of I am there. So why I should treat it as load? Nothing like that. But anyhow, whenever I feel that it is not possible for me to just incorporate a new subject, a new cross-cutting content in this curriculum. So that might be a barrier. But anyhow, as I said, at our own level, we can do a lot, such as just indicating this Idli Orchid and Me, that is a book by Vittal Kamath, and it is a good reading. Go for it. And sharing that copy with student. That is a simple gesture, simple activity, but it helped a lot to many students. They were motivated for reading more and more. Next month, they come to you and again ask you, what are the other titles of this person? And are you having any other book which I should read? Any other good book to share with me? So this is how the light is spread, and students, they are motivated and they do many things together. Then again, there are disciplinary silos, departmental boundaries, that this is not my work. We operate in isolation. We don't share information. No sharing of resources, no sharing of goals with the other parts, other departments, with other groups. Like silos means the grain store in separate tall farm towers. They are very much separate from each other. They never meet, they never interact like that. Because many of the times uh, we are having our own targets and we feel that company goals, they are less important, and my own goals, they are more important. Sometimes there is no communication between different groups and different departments. Sometimes different groups, they use different tools, different software, different systems, and because of that they are not able to coordinate with each other. What happens because of this kind of isolation, this kind of working in silos? Duplicated work. Two teams, they are working on the same issue. They waste their time solving the same problem. There may be a slow progress because information is not easily being shared. So other persons, there is a bottleneck kind of problem. There is low morale because there is no good communication between the persons, and because of that there is low morale of the persons. People, they feel isolated, they feel dejected, and because of that they don't give their 100% to the work. So this is how these disciplinary silos, working in isolation and being disconnected from each other, it has to be overcome. Then there are resource constraints. Many times substantial kind of capital is required, which directly may not be authorized, which directly may not be available and may not be possible. Then competing priorities are there. Number of issues to faculty have to face. One of my friends indicated in the beginning, enrollment issues are there. Enrollment pressure is there. Less admissions, competition. Then accreditation cycles are there. Documentation is to be done. Various preparations, they are required to be done. So how much time is available? How to utilize that? That is a big issue. Then again, placement pressure is there, contacting the industry people, arranging the placement drives, then again seeing to it that deserving all deserving candidates, they are getting the right placements and all that. Number of such kinds of just competing priorities are there. But anyhow, because of that, you may not be able to focus on only on this issue of climate action. faculty readiness. Many of us, they didn't study this topic in their career, and because of that, some kind of generational gap is there in curriculum design. I have not studied that, so why should I do that? So that kind of feeling might be there. Because I am a management student, I am a commerce practitioner, so why I should study science? That kind of barrier might be there. So it has to be removed. And because of this barrier, this session is to be conducted. Otherwise, there was no need of conducting such kind of session. On our own, we are competent enough, we are capable enough to seek information and to work on that. But because of such kind of barrier of faculty readiness, because of such kind of barrier of just feeling insecure, feeling uncertain, no clarity, lack of time, lack of attention, because of that, such kind of sessions, they are required, such kind of interactions, they are required, and accordingly we can take pleasure of being introduced to a new conception and a new way of working, a new style or new methodology of working, and accordingly we may overcome such kind of barrier. Then again, there are measurement gaps. Consistent data is required on whatever efforts we are making with reference to energy, with reference to water, with reference to wastages, with reference to whatever just we have achieved until yet. Because I'm teaching a subject. What kind of say entrepreneurship? I am dealing with that. So what kind of role I am having in entrepreneurizing the society? I can never be able to know that because number of factors simultaneously they are working. So a teacher alone, how he or she can know that what kind of impact I have in the society? It is hard to know if efforts are working or not. So in that situation, maybe low morale may be there. So we have to understand such kind of difficulties and accordingly seeing to it that uh, really I'm moving in the right direction. I'm properly just molding my student into a particular kind of format, and I am just making him or her aware regarding the significant kind of issues. Now let us see how to embed sustainability in higher education. This is a just important kind of slide. There are 4 ways through which sustainability can be embedded in higher education: through curriculum, through research and innovation, through campus operations, and through community engagement. So let us deal with each of the issues one by one. Embedding sustainability in the curriculum. So curriculum change means there is no need of rewriting the entire syllabus. There is no need of scrapping out the current syllabus completely. Uh, there are 3 different ways being suggested with reference to these curriculum changes, like infuse. It is the lowest kind of effort, but it is having the highest reach in comparison with the both other two options. You can swap an existing case study, you can existing data set or reading for one with a sustainability or climate angle. Same learning outcome, but content is now updated. A small minor change you can make in the beginning, and later on you can pursue the other option of add. Add means those departments who are more ambitious, who are having learnability at a higher level, they can pursue this option of add. What is done in that add option? Dedicated electives they are offered, value added courses they are offered, interdisciplinary minors they can be offered to them. 2 or 3 departments faculty they can come together. In our Dantir campus we used to have credit transfer at school level, intra-school as well as inter-school credit transfers we used to have. When we credit-based system we adopted, thereafter we started credit transfer also. So it was very interesting kind of option. So students of commerce and management, they were interested in Java programming. They used to learn Java through School of Computational Sciences. They were learning just journalism through School of Journalism and Mass Communication. They used to interact with other schools for the sake of learning the technique of being a radio jockey and all that, drama, politics, social work. So this is how number of options they were available from them. So from that angle, value-added courses, interdisciplinary minors, you can offer with a combination of 2 or 3 different discipline faculties together, and accordingly, it's a very attractive kind of proposition. Along with that, transform option again that is being available for the sake of making curriculum change, which is the most ambitious one. That means you are redesigning pedagogy around the project. You are dealing with problem-based learning and you are tying that to a real local challenge. Maybe your campus own water audit you can take, or Godavari River. In case it is in the vicinity, then you can conduct pollution data regarding that river. So this is how different disciplinarians, students from different schools, they can different disciplines, they can gather together, and each of them with their own angle, they can work on that. So accordingly, they will understand at least from their at least at the level of the individual self, at the level of their family, at the level of their community, they would not be making such kind of mistakes at least, and they would be really contributing in a very positive kind of manner. So this is how through curriculum this can be effected. Then through research and innovation also, there are number of ways through which you can be able to do that. Student dissertation, student thesis, you can give them local sustainability problems and you can ask them to work on that. Give them. In case I deal with marketing management, I used to give them opportunity like find out marketing opportunities in Vishnupuri area. Go and search what are the opportunities, what are the available shops there, what are the available industries there, what are the available just small enterprises are there. Accordingly, make a review, what are the demands, which demands are not fulfilled, what are the gaps, and accordingly the student, they used to make a survey and they used to give me a list of the activities which when carried on in the Vishnupuri region. Like that, for their dissertation, for their thesis, you can give them such kinds of local sustainability problem. And with that, you can pursue interdisciplinary as well as funded research also. There are number of agencies like UGC, like DST. There are international bodies also. They are having a lot of fund. They provide you fund also for some community specific kind of research initiatives. So you can get a help of that, and accordingly, you can see to it that you publish not only for the sake of publication of an academician, but publish in such a way that policymakers, they can benefit out of your publications. You can keep that kind of target. So your publication should be of such level, your research would be of such a level that you can develop a patent on that, that you can submit your finding to a decision making authority, and immediately some action oriented kind of decision it could come out of that. So this is how through research and innovation you can just contribute your own might in that. Then campus operations, that is another issue through which you can work. Greening the campus, this is the most visible kind of activity and most simple kind of activity which you can carry on. Awareness drives also you can conduct through platforms like NSS. Environmental clubs also you can establish in your institute, and again on a just consistent basis you can give them some projects. NSS and NCC again, these are very just structured kind of platforms available. Through them, you can carry on such kinds of activities. Then you can make some kind of partnership with local municipal corporation with or with industrial estate, and therein you can seek funding as well as internship policies. It is mandatory from AICT for as a director of the School of Commerce and Management Science. I found that there was an initiative of AICT. They said at least make 5 MOUs with local industries and then operationalize those MOUs. So when it is 5, uh, we began the efforts, and when there are good results, we went for 10, 15, and like that. And there in local industrial visits we conducted. Then again, we invited them to the campus. Then we just ask them that in case some problems are there, which either student they can help you, or if we faculty members we can give you solutions on that. Then kindly um, uh, just indicate such kind of probabilities and such kind of opportunities. So it again worked well. So this is how through campus operations, number of such kinds of activities you can conduct, like waste segregation. It is a low cost as well as high visibility kind of activity. Harvesting, water harvesting, rainwater harvesting, such kind of activities again they can be given on a group level. Such groups can be formed. Different department they can join their hands together, and you can work on that. So this is how, as a at campus, a small living lab you can develop and you can experiment with small ideas. Later on, they can be carried on for the different purposes. Then community engagement also, uh, that kind of activity also you can pursue, like extension activities, outreach activities. Through that, you can be able to pursue all these. Uh, all these activities they don't require big investment. All these activities they don't require too many permissions and too many approvals. The only you have to find out the opportunity, whatever is convenient for you, whatever is possible for you, depending upon your own aptitude, depending upon your own opportunity, depending upon your own convenience, you can initiate any of these activities, and you can begin with that. So no, again, in addition to that, again, this policy framework that is available with us, which is very much convenient for us. So we can focus on this, some aspects of this policy framework. Nothing we have to do, only focus on what has already been prescribed, what you are already directed. Just focus on that, and you will find that you are really contributing in a very significant manner to this climate change initiative, NEP 2020. NEP, NEP 2020, it is for multidisciplinary and holistic education. It is dismantling the silo problem which was raised previously. It is focusing on experiential and project-based learning. So many of the issues, very conveniently, they can be used for the sake of our sustainability kind of development issue. Uh, NEP 2020 is granting autonomy over electives, over minors, over value-added courses. So we have seen add, transform, infuse in regarding curriculum change. Already it has been prescribed by in the NEP 2020. Flexibility, autonomy, these are the various issues which have been covered in NEP 2020. Internship initiatives, OJT, open programs, um, uh, internship programs. So they have been described in a, only when we focus on that very sincerely and honestly, then that would be a great help. Then UGC is giving directions to that end continuously. UGC again talks about energy efficiency, it is talk about water conservation. Always it is sending circulars regarding formation of eco clubs. Always AICT, then again Pharmacy Council of India. They are sending many circulars like celebrate this day, that day, just do this, do that. Number of initiatives already they are giving us. So if we pay serious attention to their circulars, to their guidelines, to their directives, it would be a great step ahead. Many institutions already they have established eco clubs, but it may be only on paper. So making it operational, functionally active, rather than only an season kind of activity, rather than only an NBA kind of activity. So that is in our hands. Our own focus we have to decide. Then again, Some guidelines again that are given by this NEP 2020 regarding encouraging sustainability linked curriculum and research funding calls. So this is again one more proper platform to do that. NEP is carrying direct weightage, institutional weightage regarding criteria 7 on institutional values and best practices. So specific is expected. Institute, what's they do? Only for the sake of writing, they get the help of the consultants and accordingly they write regarding their initiatives and their concern regarding institutional values and best practices. But really, concrete action is not taken actually. But मीटिंग चालू आहे बेटा. अरे नाही जमत बाबा, ये इकडे नको उचलू नकोस. Sorry. Next criteria, it talks about it scores green practices, it scores social responsibility, it scores linkages with the local self-government and community, local non-governmental organizations. This recent accreditation cycles of the NAC, they actually demand actual data regarding energy consumption, regarding solid waste disposal, regarding water audit reports, carbon footprint estimates, rainwater harvesting, energy consumption figures. So already it's there, but there is a now need of the hour is to play a serious, sincere, and consistent attention on that. Don't just be concerned with that writing only a paragraph of intent. More than that, a serious and sincere interest, honest interest has to be taken. Uh, Energy audit, water audit. So all such kinds of activities, they are required to be documented. They are required to be sincerely being pursued. Green audits continuously, they are required to be conducted. Then at global level also, number of such kinds of initiatives they are observed. NIRF, AISHE, again, they are having their own way, their own parameters are there. But you just give serious attention to all the parameters. You will be finding many opportunities of having your own contribution with reference to climate change as well as sustainability development. Now, regarding policy framework, global framework, you will find that again, different kind of global frameworks they are in place. Times higher education impact rankings are there. Number of just agencies are there. Number of accreditation and certifications they are available. The only thing is to be aware, to be interested, and to show a sustained commitment. Initial enthusiasm is there, but you have to continue and sustain with the enthusiasm. Only this you would be in a position to lead in this area of sustainable development. Now, this issue is regarding commitment to measurement. Like you commit, so decide your target. There is a scale of 1 to 10. Of course, you can be able to reach the 10 initially. Find out what is your capacity, what is your ability, what kind of other priorities they can wait, and this priority it has to just receive some significance. So this is how you make a plan not only for a semester, a plan for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, for 4 years, successive steps. Make the plans. While making a plan, see to it that it is measurable. Whether you are in the right direction or not, you have to check at subsequent points. But some checks are required. At each point, you have to check whether you are in the right direction or not, whether your efforts they are paying you good returns or not. whether you are in the required direction or not, and then only it would be possible for you to contribute to a significant kind of purpose. Then, while dealing with all these, I tried to find out some case studies and some best practices, and therein I found that a number of institutes, they are really just demonstrating a role model for the others to follow. IIT Mumbai, Terry School of Advanced Studies Mumbai, SRM and Amrita Universities, universities of Bristol, UK. Some universities have found that really they are doing a wonderful kind of job. So find out such kind of benchmarks from the local area, as well as at national level, as well as at international level. And each successive step, depending upon your ability, depending upon your willingness, depending upon your determination, find out which benchmark you are setting for yourself, and accordingly you can pursue, just proceed forward. So number of ways are there through which you can do that. So only thing is you have to decide which way is applicable. Just a moment. At We are coming now at the last part of the session regarding our action plan. We try to know a lot, we try to share a lot regarding the concepts like sustainable development, climate action, climate responsibility, global warming, curriculum change, research, innovation, engagement, leadership, number of issues we try to understand. We try to just have a short glimpse through case studies, best practices which are found worldwide. Now, I'm giving you several guidelines on which you can pursue in future, such as IIT Mumbai. You can just visit the website and find out whatever they are doing. Then that would be again a good case study. On similar lines or on the same kind of initiative, you can incorporate at your own level. Or maybe on similar lines, you can work on others also. Now, these are only 4 or 5 representative types I just put in front of you. Hundreds of people, hundreds of institutions, they are doing a lot. So be in touch with them, try to talk with them, try to learn from them, try to study them, and accordingly, you'll be getting many more indications of doing that. So, anyhow, what are our key takeaways for today? That is, sustainable development is not an environmental studies topic. It is a lens every discipline can and should apply. Sustainable development is not confined to environmental studies alone. It is a perspective that can and that must be woven through every field of study. Every discipline has to just do something which would be contributing towards making development a sustainable one. Universities have higher bodies of knowledge. They have a fivefold responsibility to educate, to research, to operate, to engage, and to lead. And some institutions already they have started a very good and remarkable and commendable work on that. Now it is our turn. If at all we are not started yet, now it is high time now that we are required to work on that. NEP 2020, then again UGC, NAC, and several such kinds of institutes, as well as certifications, as well as accreditations. They are available worldwide. Accordingly, as per your interest, as per your capacity, as per your priority, you can approach them, you can learn them, and accordingly, you can develop your own pattern. And with ambitious plan that is not expected in the beginning, that is never just expected from any beginner. Instead, small, owned, independent, time bound actions, they are expected. And in case you are making an ambitious kind of plan, so you may feel frustrated and you may lose the enthusiasm, and that this is not my cup of tea. You may get the feeling, but instead of that, the Kaizen philosophy, small incremental gradual steps, some change it has to take place. Today what I did, tomorrow what I am going to do. Even a small change, if it is made, then just be assured that you are in the right direction. Because if you're not supposed, it is not possible to make significant kind of achievements. But in case consistently, again, I would like to give the example of Honorable Chaitramji Pawar. So he said in 1990 he started his work. Dr. Phatak from Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram, he came to his village, Baripada, and then he spoke about some ideas. Dr. Pawar, Chaitramji Pawar, he was not well, so he went to the doctor. And while getting the treatment, there was an exchange of ideas. And then he was just motivated and he was very much inspired to do something. Then, uh, no forest cut, no just forest cutting. So that was the initiative. And then after, there was no looking back. And now, last year, he has got Padma Shri. Small incremental steps he has taken. Every day he used to move around, every day some water storage initiatives they were conducted. He met Madhuri Chitale, the renowned honorable personality who had experience of just water storage and all that, rainwater harvesting. And this is how now today we observe that they are planning on their own without getting a single rupee from any of the other government or non-government agencies on their own. They are capable enough, they are competent enough to dream about getting carbon credits and carbon footprints on that. So that's the importance of small incremental steps. So regarding this action plan, now basically at two levels we are required to work. First level is to model sustainable practice on our own campus. And secondly, to prepare students, to educate them, to literate them regarding sustainability, and to prepare them who can lead climate action in their professions and in their communities. Whatever profession they would be pursuing, wherever they would be staying. So they have to lead climate action. So in this manner, students, they are required to be trained. So what is required is a structured, time-bound set of actions for faculty aligned with Sustainable Development Goals, NEP 2020's emphasis on experiential and value-based learning, and quality assurance frameworks like NAC, NIRF that increasingly reward sustainability performance. It is not that no one would be noticing that. Already, NEP 2020, NAC, UGC, NBA, they have indicated that this is what we value, this is what we award, this is what we just appreciate. So you can only listen, you can only read to that and work on similar lines. That is more than enough to begin with. So we have to develop, we have to use that 5 role framework and identify what I can do at my own department, what I can do at my own college or at my own university department. Uh, yeah, we can to pick up a small action. You have to pick up small action which realistically can be started in the immediate coming semester. You are not required to make a perspective plan for 10 years or a 5-year plan. No, not like that. Immediately in this semester, what I can do, accordingly, you are required to work. Then find out for doing that activity, what do you expect from leadership of your institute? Approach them, request them, and definitely, in case you are having a good plan, definitely they would be helping you. So make a beginning. There may not be complete clarity at this moment, but when you start, definitely in due course of time, you will develop the clarity. Those people you would be approaching, definitely they would be helping you. So time management has to be followed. So just try to remember that sustainability, that is not a program which universities run, but it is a lens they teach the world to see through. So Every curriculum design, building retrofit, research grant, whatever student partnership initiatives you are incorporating, see to it that you are developing a model for the others to follow and you are paying good attention for all the aspects of the sustainable kind of development. So when Dr. Undre is, thanks to him, because of him, again, I started to think about sustainable development and all that. At some point in time, we experiment with all such kinds of things. Then later on, some new priority comes up and we give up. But don't make this happen with reference to sustainable development and climate action. When whatever you pursue, continue it consistently and continuously. That is the need of the hour. And that is what society expects from us. Thank you.
Any questions or queries or uh, something which one has to ask, it's always welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Somnath.
Dr. Abu sir, you wanted to ask something?
अनम्यूट करा अबू सर.
हो करो. अरे यार ये काय राहिलं ते काय. मॅम.
आपकी आवाज आ रही है, बोलिए, आप बोलिए.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, clearly. Please carry on.
Sir, there is Madam has not left any question to ask because Madam has clarified all in each and every point. Means in regard to system development. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Shall I take your leave?
If
Yes,
there are
yes.
no questions, vote of thanks can be offered by the concerned person. Roll number 17, I think. So I take this opportunity to offer my sincere vote of thanks for this wonderful presentation on a pertinent topic. The whole lecture was very much thought provoking, and I think this will very much inspire our this batch of uh, refresher course to do things, to make things happen, not just at their own level or individual level, but at a societal level too. So we are very much enlightened by your lecture, ma'am, and thank you very much, and for such a pertinent for lecturing us on such a pertinent topic. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, and thanks everyone.
Thank you. All the best for everyone.
Now you can leave, ma'am, if you want.
Mhm.
अमूल जी, कब मिलना है? नेक्स्ट सेशन इज एट 3. Can we leave now, Amol ji?
सर बाद में कब मिलना है सर? कितने बजे स्टार्ट होगा शुरू सेशन, नेक्स्ट सेशन? हेलो।
तो एमएमटीसी टीम की तरफ से कोई बताए तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि आई एम ऑल्सो द पार्टिसिपेंट ओनली। एनी अमोल जी हैं क्या?
गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन। दो आई एम ऑल्सो अ पार्टिसिपेंट, लेकिन मुझे जितना समझ आ रहा है 2:45 का टाइम है सर लॉगिन का सबका।
ओके मैम, थैंक यू।
जी
सो यू कैन लीव।
जी।
Yes, participant, you can leave this Zoom meeting. Afternoon session will be start at 2:45.